This video is more of an in-house conversation among mental health providers, but you know what? Now that I think about it, I think clients might also have something to say. So, if you're a client or a non-mental health clinician, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this topic as well. But I've noticed in my practice, one thing that has radically changed the progress I'm able to make with clients is bringing in family members and friends for consultations. And I'm thinking of one case in particular where I was working with this client for maybe 8 months, and we had kind of reached a point where we were just kind of stalling. There was a problem, and we just weren't really able to get a good conceptualization of it in our sessions and make that much forward progress. But there was, you know, still a desire to come to counseling, good relationship. There's the hope that we could see change, but it just wasn't happening, and that happens sometimes. And so I don't know if it was me or the client suggested, hey, let's bring in the spouse. Let's bring in a family member, someone who can shed some additional light on the issue. Bring them in as like a conjoint therapy session. So it's not technically family therapy or couples counseling, but we're bringing in another party, and they're going to lend additional insights on the client. Well, boy, I did that, and that handful of sessions where we brought in the extra outside person just really it was eye-opening. And not only for me, but for the client too, because there were several points in the session the client was like, yeah, wow, I couldn't have said it any better than that. And everything they're saying is true. And I guess I just wasn't able to articulate it to you. I was like, really? After 8 months, you couldn't have said that? Like, that seemed pretty on the nose and straightforward. But I'm not judging that client. I get it. Sometimes we're just stuck and we're trapped within the limits of our own perception. And so having a trusted outside party who can give their perspective and share it with the counselor, I mean, for me, it was immensely helpful clinically speaking. It was also immensely helpful for the client to hear it, and then for us to then have follow-up conversations about it. And then, lo and behold, we start making some progress. And the conceptualization gets a little bit stronger on where those problems are and what are some potential solutions. And then it's like therapy starts to pick up some speed, and gets maybe a little more exciting. Like, hey, that hope, the promise of therapy is now coming to fruition. So this is my suggestion to other clinicians. Try it if you're not accustomed to bringing in outside people. You're just doing individual therapy. Bring in a family member, bring in a spouse, bring in a friend, a partner, and just do 1 or 2 sessions where you consult with that person to give additional perspectives. But I also want to hear from clients' perspectives. If you're feeling stuck with your therapist, suggest to your therapist bringing in your family member, your spouse, your partner, your friend who can shed more light, a coworker. That may be awkward for that person, but take the risk, take the gamble. It could really open things up for your therapy. So yeah, I want to hear from therapists, but I also want to hear from clients. What are your thoughts on that? What are your thoughts about suggesting that to your therapist? All right, let me know.